Good morning, seniors, Berlin seniors, Clinton seniors. We're going to do some yoga today. I'm going to start in my chair and we'll warm up, and then we'll stand up. We'll go to the floor. We will be on our belly and on our back. So if there's any part of that doesn't work for you, you can always come back to the chair. Everything done on the floor can be done in a chair. Okay, let's warm up. Just some nice deep breaths, taking your arms out to the side, reach them all the way up, and then exhale them out and down. Nice deep breath in. One more like that. And we'll roll those shoulders up, back, and down, big as you can make them. And then this time, once you draw them down, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then we'll try that again. Up, down, a little squeeze. And another one like that. Beautiful. Let's take our arms out to the side and just reach through your fingertips. Stretching, stretching. And then press through the heels of your hands, stretching, stretching. And then press through the wrist as you draw the fingers under and back towards you. So back to stretching through the palms of your hands. And then fingers down and curl under. Let's do one more like that. And then release and give them a shake. We'll take our arms out to the side and give yourself a nice big hug. Rotate from side to side, just warming up. And then release the arms out to the side again. See if you can put the opposite arm on top. And then we'll rotate gently from side to side. And back to the center. Another nice deep breath in, out to the side, all the way up. And roll those shoulders. Beautiful. Let's do a twist in our chair. So we're going to take the right arm out to the side and bring it all the way over to your left knee. And then your left hand on top. Going to inhale it up at shoulder height and then reach it back. Use the exhale to close the hands together. Inhale, reach. And exhale, close. Let's do one more like that. Hands on thighs. Left arm out to the side. And we'll bring it all the way over to your right knee. And the right hand comes on top. We're inhaling it up at shoulder height and reaching it back. Let's do two more. And hands on thighs. Let's reach to the back of our chair and drop your chest forward. And then we'll exhale and release. Let's try that again, reaching back and dropping your chest forward. And release. And one last time. This time we'll switch it up a bit. So inhaling, open chest. Exhaling, bring your hands together and round through your spine. Inhaling, reach and open. And exhale, round. We'll come to center. Do something side to side. So hold the underside of your chair. This is my left hand holding the underside of my chair. And then my right arm right up next to my ear. And I'm going to stretch it out the whole side. Inhale up and we'll switch it up. Moving side to side. Opening. And one more on each side. Okay, another nice deep breath. Out to the side, all the way up. And then let it out. Rolling those shoulders. Okay, let's take your right knee into your chest and give it a squeeze. And then your left knee into your chest, give it a squeeze. And this time, right leg stretches forward and we'll add a reach. Up and back, and then we'll switch to the other side, add a reach. Other leg now, add a reach. Stretching and adding a reach. Let's end one more on each side. Sitting up nice and straight and tall. Take your left ankle to your right thigh. Now, if this is too much, just take your knee to your chest. Sit up nice and straight and tall. Good for your hips. And then release other side. Sitting up nice and straight and tall. Let's bring the soles of our feet together and let your knees fall away. Draw your heels back towards your body. Lift your chest. Elongate your spine. And then we'll bring those knees together. Stretch both legs out. A little bump in the knee so you feel safe, and we'll add a reach. And walking hands up, coming back to seated. Feet on the floor. Let's walk those feet nice and wide. Sitting up nice and straight and tall. And keep your hands on your thighs or hold underneath your chair. I'm going to take turns dropping one knee to the center. Move nice and slow so that you feel what's happening the whole way through. If a knee is being pulled on the side, it doesn't feel right, you can always walk those feet a little closer. And knees up, and we'll walk the feet together. Before we stand, let's just take one knee into your chest for a little squeeze. And the other knee into your chest for a little squeeze. And then we'll stand up. So I've got my chair close by in case I need it, but I'm going to move it a bit away right now because we're going to do some warm-ups, and I don't want anybody to hit the chair with their fingers or hands. So we'll come into mountain pose. And mountain pose is essentially good posture. Lifting up to the crown of your head. Shoulders up, back, and down. A little squeeze behind. Belly nice and soft. Strong legs. Feet hip width apart. Let's take a nice breath here. Very nice. Let's open our feet just a bit. And with our hands on our hips, we'll move back and forth, side to side. Warming everything up. Big circles round and round. Bend your knees for this. Stop at the top and go in the opposite direction. Coming back to center and back into mountain pose. Let's inhale our arms all the way up and overhead. Interlace your fingers and press to the ceiling. Hold for a breath. And then release your fingers and your arms. We'll roll those shoulders. Inhaling those arms out and up. Interlacing your fingers and pressing to the ceiling. And let's stretch one side. And then the other. Use your breath. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you go over. Once more, each side. And release your fingers, release your arms, roll those shoulders. Let's take the hands together behind your back. Drawing your fingers down towards the floor, open your chest. And then release, hands out in front and press. Inhale them all the way up. Exhale them out and down. Fingers together, draw your knuckles towards the floor. Out in front and press. Inhale them up. Exhale them out and down. Fingers together, knuckles draw towards the floor. Out in front, last time. Press forward, inhale them up. Exhale them out and down. Knuckles towards the floor. And release. Let's give those hands a shake. Okay. I'm going to bring my chair in and stand directly behind it in mountain pose. Standing up nice and straight and tall, shoulders up, down, and back. Begin with an inhale and exhale, coming forward and walking your feet back into downward dog. The next time you breathe in, lift the chest and walk to the back of the chair. Coming back into mountain. Start with a breath. Exhale. And walk back into downward dog. And inhale and lift your chest. Walking back into mountain. And next exhale again, downward dog. And inhaling. Back into mountain. Okay. With your hands on your chair, if you need them to be, we're going to take a nice big step back with your left foot. Arms down by your side. We're going to use the breath to bring the arms out in front and then all the way up. Hold for a breath and exhale those arms out and down, and the legs will straighten. Let's try it again. Use your in-breath to come into warrior, and your out-breath to come out of warrior. Let's hold this last one for a breath. Walking your feet together, back to mountain pose. With your fingers touching your chair, we're going to step back with the right foot. Arms down by your side. Let's use our breath to come into warrior. Using the in-breath to come into warrior. The out-breath to come out. Two more. Last one, we'll hold for a breath. And walk our feet together into mountain pose. Do one more downward dog. And we'll walk back into mountain pose. Let's step the left foot back again. And the right foot forward. Using your hands on your chair, we're just going to bring the chest forward, straight legs, extended leg stretch. Inhaling up, and we'll walk those feet together. And switch, left leg forward and right foot back. Nice straight legs and chest towards your chair. Inhaling up, and we'll walk those feet together into mountain pose. Okay. Let's work on our balance. Beginning in mountain, We'll hold for a breath. And we'll draw our feet together so our big toes touch. The inside of your thighs touch. And you're taking your shoulders up, back, and down into that mountain pose. And then bringing your feet hip width apart will make it a little harder. Got your chair here if you need it. We're going to come up onto the ball of the left foot. To make it a little harder, we'll walk the ball of your foot into the right ankle. Let's bring our hands together, namaste pose. Beautiful, feet on the floor, hip width apart. Let's go to the other side, coming up onto the ball of your right foot, and then we'll walk it in to your left ankle. Hands in namaste pose. Coming back into mountain pose. We'll make it a little bit harder. Got your chair if you need it. On your next in-breath, just lift that right knee. Just lift that right knee. Hover your foot over your mat. You can bring your arms out to help you balance. And release back into mountain pose. How we doing? Good? Other side. Use your in-breath to just float up that right knee. Hover your foot over your mat. Use your arms if you need to. And release into mountain. Before we come down to the mat, let's do the rock step. And the rock step begins in mountain pose. And we're going to take a big step forward with your left foot. Your hands on your hips. We're just going to shift the weight front and back. Your body knows what to do. You don't even have to think about it. Shifting the weight from the front to the back. Now we'll lift just the back foot just an inch or two off of your mat. And now we'll lift the front foot as well, just an inch or two off your mat. The series can help with your balance in a safe way. You always have one foot on the ground. It's more dynamic balance. Now we'll walk those feet together. Stepping right foot forward and left foot back. Again, we're just shifting the weight. We'll start by lifting that back foot just a bit. And adding the front foot as well. Couple more. And walking those feet to center. Before we go down to the floor, let's take a nice deep breath. Arms out to the side, all the way up. Beautiful. Let's come all the way down to seated in our crisscross pose, and just set yourself up for a moment. Feel the sit bones and feel your weight kind of balanced on them. Sitting up nice and straight and tall. Put one arm out to the side. This is my left hand, and I'm going to bring my right arm right up next to my ear. I'm just going to stretch it out a bit, each side, side to side. One more on each side. And coming back to the center. Let's stretch those legs out in front. We'll give them a little shake. Don't lose your posture, sitting up nice and straight and tall. We're going to open our feet nice and wide. Feel yourself balanced on those sit bones. We'll take our attention over the left leg. One hand on either side. Your gaze is at your big toes. Try not to let this sit bone come up too high. Keep it grounded down. If you want to reach to your toes, go ahead and do that. You can hold on to your ankle, shin, whatever's going to work. Ease up and back and come to center. Come up onto your fingertips. Maintaining your balance here and your posture. The movement comes from your hip joints, which tend to be tight. So move with mindfulness. Now we'll take our attention over the right leg, one hand on either side of the knee. Gazing down at those toes. And lastly, hands on shins or toes or knees. Ease up and back. Let's bring the soles of our feet together into cobbler's pose. Cobbler's pose is easily done on the chair. We did it earlier. Just bringing the soles of your feet together. Your knees are open, opening your hips. Let's bring the knees together and stretch those legs out in front. Let's take the sole of your left foot into the right thigh. Again, your attention is over the outstretched leg. Don't let it lay slack. Really activate that leg by pressing through the heel. Draw the knee in and stretch it out. Other side. So the sole of your right foot into the thigh on the left. Moving now from the hip. The gaze is at your big toe. Ease up and back. Stretch the legs out and give them a bit of a shake. Let's come to hands and knees. Take your time. Come onto your hands and knees. I'm going to keep my chair nearby so that I can demonstrate to you how do these particular movements in a chair. So I'm in a table pose. My back is nice and flat. Rather, it's not rounded and it's not sunken down in. It's nice and flat. I'm going to stretch my left leg back. So sitting in the chair, just stretch your left leg forward, come up onto the heel. And then other side, right leg, stretch it back, roll the toes under. If you're sitting in your chair, you're just stretching it forward, coming onto the heel. We're going to do a cat balance. So stretching your left leg behind. Bring the right arm right up next to your ear. And the gaze would be out and over your fingers. To make it a bit harder, you can lift the foot, press out through the heel, working our core. And back to table pose. Stretching that right leg back. Left arm right up next to your ear. The gaze is over your fingers. And make it a little harder. And lift the foot, pressing out through the heel. Cat stretch and balance. Let's press back into child's pose. Knees can be together or wide. Arms can be out in front or closer in to your torso. Walk those hands back towards your knees. We'll come to sit in the rock pose. If you have knee issues, the rock pose might not be good for you. So come stand in the high kneel. Okay, let's move back into table pose. We're going to move into downward dog. So downward dog starts with your toes rolled under and your heart lifted. We'll begin with a breath in. And exhale and lift your knees, pressing back into your downward dog. You can always keep your knees bent in downward dog. Doesn't matter so much if your heels come to the floor. And then let's drop the knees and press back into child's pose. I'm walking my hands back and sitting in the rock pose or the high kneel. I'm going to show you how to do a downward dog. Seated in a chair. Okay. Come to the edge of your chair and stretch the legs out in front. Sitting up nice and straight and tall, we'll use the arms. Keep a bend in the knee just to help you feel safe. Arms out to the side and all the way up with my palms facing forward. I'm just going to draw the torso forward just a bit. And then inhale up and back. Hands on knees and feet on the floor. Let's try it again. Legs straight. A little bend in the knee to help you feel safe. Arms out to the side. Palms forward. Just a bit. Up and back. And feet on the floor. Let's go back down to our hands and knees. We'll press all the way back into child's pose. Walking your hands back and up into the rock pose or the high kneel. Okay, we're going to come all the way down onto our belly. And I'm going to keep my chair close by so that I can show you how to do the next pose in a chair. So we're coming all the way down onto our belly. Let's bring your arms down by your side and your forehead and nose to the mat. This helps to keep your spine in line. Let's turn the palms up to the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Elongate your legs. Point your toes. On an exhale, lift the back of your head. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Extend out through your legs. And release the effort. Let's do that again. Exhale. Back of the head. Press your palms up to the ceiling, squeezing your shoulder blades. And release. I'm going to show you how to do locust pose in the chair. Coming to the edge of your chair, sitting up nice and straight and tall. We'll extend those legs. A little bump in the knee to feel safe. Arms by your side and shoulders up, back, and down. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades and press the palms back towards the wall behind you. Open the chest and lift up to the crown of your head and release. Try it again. Extend those legs up onto your heels, a little bend. Shoulders up, down, and back, and press. Open the chest. Lift up to the crown of your head. And back to seated. Let's come all the way down onto our mat again, and we're going to do cobra. All the way down onto our bellies. The hands are under the shoulders. We have a tendency to want to put them higher. That's not going to do us any good. We need them to be down and under your shoulders, supporting the weight of your torso. As in the locust pose, the legs are long and stretched, reaching down through your toes. On an exhale, we'll lift the back of the head, lifting your torso from the strength of your back and breath. And ease down on one side of your face. Getting ready again to do cobra. Exhale, lift the back of the head, squeeze your shoulder blades. Shoulders are up, down, and back. Elongate through your legs, point your toes. And come down. Nice deep breath in and out. I'm going to press up into table and show you Cobra in the chair. Sitting up nice and straight and tall. I'm on the edge of my chair. Again, we're going to stretch those legs out in front. Little bump for safety. Shoulders up, back, and down. And hands right at the height of your shoulders. Stretch your fingers wide. And then we'll draw the shoulders back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open your chest and lift up to the crown of your head. Breathing in and breathing out. Cobra. Let's try that again. Extended legs. A little bump in the knee. Shoulders up, back, and down. Hands right next to your chest line. Fingers as high as your shoulders. Squeezing your shoulder blades together and lifting up and through the crown of your head. Cobra. And release back to seated. And we're going to go all the way down now on our bellies, rather on our backs. So if getting down to the floor is not going to work for you, all of these things you can do in your chair. So let's come all the way down onto our back. Take your time. Coming all the way down. Let's start with the knees bent and the feet on the floor. Take your arms by your side. Roll your shoulders one by one. Up, back, and down. So your chest is nice and open and supported. My low back, I'm going to lift it up and just set it down again to make sure it's supported and that I have a little space just above my sacrum and just below my mid-back. That means my back is nicely supported and won't be unduly strained. Okay. I'm going to start by stretching out my left leg and pressing through the heel. We're going to make some strong legs. Here we go. We're just going to inhale it up and point your toe right up to the ceiling. What's going to happen is your low back is going to want to lift, but keep it down and supported. So we're lifting and then press through the heel and lower. So we'll do 10 of these. Halfway there. Just 3 more. And here's the last one. Make it a good one. All the way up. Stretch, stretch, point, point, and then release. Let's go to the other side now, stretching the right leg forward. Press through the heel. And then point the toe as you lift it up. So if you're seated in a chair, it would be really hard to get your leg all the way up like that. So I wouldn't do any lifting. I would just lift the knee and then put it down. Let's do 3 more. Last one. Point, point, stretch, stretch, and then release. Let's take both knees into our chest, cross your ankles, and rock from side to side. Let's take your left knee into your chest, stretch the other leg long. Hold for a breath. And then release and take the right knee into your chest and stretch the left leg long. And then both knees into your chest, cross your ankles, and we'll rock from side to side. Let's make some big circles. Hands on your knees, draw big circles. And then we'll stop in the middle and go in the opposite direction. And then we'll drop those feet and stretch your legs long. Let's roll the shoulder blades under one by one. Your gaze is up at the ceiling now. Try not to look over at the screen, rather just listen. I'm going to bend to my knees and walk my heels towards my bottom as best you can. We're going to peel your lower back off of your mat. So we're going to tilt it just a bit forward and then press your hips up. Now the weight comes on the back of your shoulders and on the bottom of your feet, never on your head or your neck. And let's ease down, kind of one vertebrae at a time. Inhale and lift and press and exhale and lower. Feel your quadricep muscles, they're stretching, peeling and pressing. And come all the way down. Cross your ankles and draw your knees to your chest. And we'll rock from side to side. Okay, keep your knees at your chest and your arms out to the side. And we're going to take the weight of your knees and legs to one side. And if you feel like you can, just let them be. Just drop them to the floor. And then we'll reach down to your knees and take them back to your chest. Knees at your chest. We're going to open the arms to the side and then draw the weight of your knees to the other side. Do the best you can. Reaching down to my knees, I'm going to take them to my chest and rock from side to side. Big circles around your sacrum. And then around in the opposite direction. Let's drop our feet to the mat and stretch those legs. Arms by your side. Nice deep breath into the belly. Get ready to do a Shavasana. Shavasana is the pose, that relaxation pose we do at the end of class. And it takes the time to kind of integrate the poses into your body. Just taking a few moments to let yourself be, release and relax. That's Shavasana. So if you're in a chair, just rest your feet comfortably on the floor. Sit all the way back to the back of your chair. Allow your torso to rest. Take your hands on your thighs and settle down in. If you're on the floor, we're going to flatten out those shoulder blades so the chest is nice and wide. We're going to draw the arms just a bit away from your torso with the palms facing up. Your gaze is up at the ceiling and not at the screen if you can help that. I'm going to lift my hips and set my low back nicely grounded into the floor. And then I'm going to stretch my legs long. If this hurts your back or your legs, you can always keep your knees bent and you can kind of teepee them together so you can just let go of the effort. The feet should be away from each other so your hips can just roll out and relax. If you find that your chin is much higher than your forehead, this is a sign that the back of your neck might be a bit tight. So see if you can draw the chin down towards your chest and open the back of your neck. It's also really nice to put a pillow under your head to kind of bring your neck into balance. Just be mindful about your body, how it feels, and how we're going to settle in to this few-minute Shavasana. So close your eyes and draw your hands to your belly. Think about filling the space under your fingers with breath. Imagine it's a balloon, or better yet, a blow-up Santa in your front yard. You're filling up the space with breath, and then letting it go. Each time you let the breath go, imagine you're letting go a little more of your body, arms, legs, torso, allowing it to sink into the floor and just be supported. Then coming out of Shavasana, we'll start to move fingers and toes, kind of waking up from the outside in and rolling through ankles and wrists, bending through knees and elbows. Take your knees to your chest and we'll roll onto one side. Take a moment to make a pillow for your head, your hands. And when you're ready to come to seated, let the head be the last thing that comes up. Sitting in my crisscross pose, but you can always sit in your chair. Let's close with an Om today. Namaste, hands right in front of your heart. Sitting up nice and straight and tall. Let's take a breath in and out. And then a breath to begin. Namaste. Enjoy your Saturday.